This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, I get to Moed, everyone. We're continuing in Mishna Daf Hashavua, Siman Ayin Zayin. Shar Oy Kesev Oy Eiz Ki Valed. In honor of Pesach, we're learning Siman Ayin Zayin. Shaloi Likrois Neget Keneged Meiraglaim. You should not read the Kriya Shema opposite urine. Says the Mechaber. Asar Likrois Keneged Meiraglaim. Ad Sheyato L'Soichan Revius Vayim. You're not to read opposite Meiraglaim until you mix into it, pour into it a revius of water, va'az mutter. V'loy shina al gabe karka. It doesn't matter if the urine is on the ground. Loy shina b'kli. Doesn't matter if it's in a vessel. As long as it's not a designated bowl for the urine, putting in a revius of water will help. V'din avid ayin l'kaman siman pezayin. Loy shina hayuhem b'kli tchila. And it doesn't matter if the urine was in the vessel and then you poured water, or the water was there first and the urine went into that kli. Now it's very interesting. I was in Lakewood, Urine HaKodesh before Yom Tif, and I saw a great thing there in the Judaica store, and I had to buy it. A tiny kais. That was a little bit more than a revius. It was 3.8 ounces. Now, I follow Rav Moshe. The revius for D'Rabbanans, if it would be Friday night, then it would be D'Oraisa for Kiddush. But as D'Rabbanan, Rav Moshe says 3.3 ounces. I think Rav David held that it was even less than that for a revius, but the more Chomer Shidur is 3.3, it was 3.8 ounces. And I'm wondering, what am I going to do with the kais that's revius the rest of the year? I know what I need for Pesach. But now, Baruch Hashem, Siman Ayin Zayin, it's good to have handy a kais that's revius in case you need to be mevatel the meiraglayim and you need to pour in a revius. So it's always handy to have this small kais. Okay, says the Mishnah Berura. Can I get the tzarch l'zeh kol dinei harchaka? You need all the laws of distancing yourself from something improper. Dalet Amos and Kimloyenov Lefanav K'may Lekaman B'Siman Tes of Aleph L'Inyan Saya Ad Sheyata. Why? Lefi Shemina Torah also Likrois Rak Keneged Amot Shokilach Bovat Midai Raisa. By when it comes to Meiraglayim, it's only the flow of Meiraglayim. Va'achar Shenafala Aretz Any Soy Rak Midivrei Soifrim. But after it falls to the ground, the Isser is only Midrabanan. Okay, that's what we learned in Siv Zayin, that when it comes to Meiraglayim, only the Amud is Dairaisa. V'chana b'sof Siman Ayin Vav. L'chein heikelu Chazal. Chazal were mekel. Sheyachal levatlam al yedei revius mayim. That you could be mevatel it through a revius of water. What if you're mesupik whether it has the shiur or not? You have a kais, you can't measure it. You don't know if it has a shiur. It might have 2.9 ounces. You have to be machmer. Why? Because the Meiraglayim is Meiraglayim. It's becheskas Meiraglayim, and it's not nisbatel until you're Berura that you did so. What about using Coca-Cola? Do you have to use water? So Rav Chaim Kanievsky says it could be that it helps. I would say everybody agrees Coca-Cola helps because Coca-Cola is water. It's water and chemicals. So the chemicals make it worse. The shaila l'char is only other mashkim. Let's say may purest. Soda is mine. Okay. Weiter. Even if it's 50 gallons of meiraglayim will still be kambato through one revius of water. The revius will only help if the urine doesn't smell. But if it smells means it bothers you. We're gonna see if it bothers you, that's the problem. The asar midin Torah likrois nega. This is interesting. Even though midaraisa only kenega the amud is asar midaraisa, but now we're learning even if it's standing, if it smells, it's asar midaraisa. Then the revius doesn't help. The revius is a kula on a drabanan, but once it smells, it's a daraisa. The bita idei revius will not help. You have to be marbe the water in order to mevatel the smell. Revius mayim. Yeshoimrim de beinan davka bevas achas. Some say that you need to pour it all at one time. This is the Prisha in the name of Rabbeinu Yoina and the Rambam and the Parsha Mishnayos, and Shar Poskim, and other Poskim do not bring this. But there are shitas that you have to pour it all at once, but it cannot be a little by little. The lav hachi kama batal. Each ounce you pour in becomes batal. Okay. Al gabe karka. It's on the ground. You should see to it that the water is dispersed to wherever the urine is. Anywhere the urine is wet enough that if you touch it, it will make something else wet. But let's say you have a long puddle and you pour water on the right side, and that water is not having any effect on the left side. It's not going to do the job. You got to pour. You got to disperse it. It has to be. As long as it's not a bowl that's designated for the urine, because a toilet bowl, excuse the expression, even if it's empty, you can't say Shema opposite. Now, this is very common, by the way. I know in my house, the kitchen, where I wash my hands for Natil Yadayim, there's like a hallway on the side to a bathroom. Sometimes the door is open. And even though you're 15 feet away from it, if the bathroom door is open, and I want to say brachas, and I'm facing the bathroom, and even though the toilet is flushed, excuse the expression, you can't say brachas pashtos because you're saying it opposite avit shalmei raglayim. It's a very common scenario. You want to make an asher yatzar. The bathroom door is open. You're opposite a clean toilet bowl. Now there is a tzad kula that our toilets maybe are like the Persian toilets because they're constantly flushed out, but it's a kula. One should be zahir not to say a bracha opposite even a clean toilet bowl. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help to put water. Even if you have those blue things, when you flush the blue, the Kool-Aid comes down. Well, whether you're allowed to do that on Shabbos is a different question. But even so, l'chayra, it's still avit shalmei raglayim. Heim bakli tchila. It doesn't matter if the urine is in the kli first or if the water is in the kli first. V'cheinim hayu mayim kervias tchila agabe karka. Let's say if there was water or vias on the ground, v'hishanach agabe mayim, then you urinated into it. Mutter likros kishma. You'd be allowed to say shema. V'afilu im ata machas merglayim nispashid yoser. Even if because of the added urine, it now spreads further. Sif beis. Revius sha'amru l'mei raglayim shel pamachas. This din that a revius of mayim is mevatel urine, that's one urination. Ulashel shnei pa'amim shtei revi'iyos. But if someone urinated twice, you would have to pour two revius in it. Ulashel shloisha v'chein la'olam, the Rama adds. The Rama says v'chein la'olam. Because the Rama knows that we're learning Daf Hashavua, and we just learned Daf Pei Dalet. And the Mishna there says peiroi, and then it has to say ad olam. Because just because it says the fruits of the fruits, maybe there's a maximum of 3. So the Rama says no, it's ad infinitum. In other words, as many times as somebody urinates, that's how many revius is needed. It says the Mishna pamachas v'afilim hishtin harbe. Even if somebody urinated a lot, dai b'revius v'chanal v'siv katan beis. V'cheinim hishtin rak ma'at yesh oimrim d'tzar gam ken revius. Let's say someone urinated one droplet. Do you need a revius? Some say yes. Ava b'tshuvas chacham tzvi siman kuf beis pasak demamei raglamim chusim revius. If the urine is less than revius, the sagi b'roiv ma'im v'alein tzarch revius. It would be enough to be mevata b'roiv. The layama revius ela lahaka. Revius is a rabbinic leniency, but certainly you could be mevata b'roiv. That's Roiv is a bittul da'iraisa. Of course, Roiv works. The chiddush is even revius works. Sha'afim me'ragam shal pamachas he'merumim revius. The chiddush is even if the urine is more than a revius, sagi revius levatlan. It's enough with the revius to be mevatot. Avaloi lahachmer, not to be machmer. Va'afilu im ha'me'raglayim he'mishtei pa'amim. Even let's say you have 2 urinations, you still do not need a revius. It would be enough to be mevatot b'roiv. Sagi b'roiv ma'im levatlan. Be enough to mevatel it b'roiv. V'chein heskimu ha'achronim. V'ayin oid ma shenichtav l'kaman, Siman Pei Beis, Mishna Berura, Sivkatan Da'at. Shtei revi'iyos. Pasak kedas Rambam Mushari Poiskim. This mechaber is pasking like the Rambam, that the revius is for one urination, for two you need two. V'loi kedas harajva shemekel b'zeh. This is not like the shita of the Rashba, who's lenient. Kamoshim avor v'beis Yosef. The shita of the Rashba is that a revius works irrespective of how many urinations there were. Uve Magen Giborim, Reb Mordechai Ze'ev Antinga in the Magen Giborim says, the ein beinei machlokes. So really, there's no dispute. The Rambam only held you need two revius is if you did it one after another. Let's say someone urinated, and they put in revius. When someone urinates again, then you'd have to put it another revius. It's not going to help that you already put it in a revius the first time, because somebody then went and urinated into it. But what if you come? You're in a random place. You're somewhere in Poland, and you come to a spot, and you could tell 5 people urinated there. It's not a designated toilet, but 5 people urinated there. Then even the Rambam would agree to the Rashba. Then you could come and pour in one revius. You don't have to cheshbon ois. Oh, how many Polish people were mashtin over there? That's how many revius I have to pour in. No, it's only the din of the Rambam is once you pour in a revius of mayim and then someone is mashtin, you'll have to do it again. Am hishin kam upon brotzelgusne daibatos revius levad ein shom beragura maskim gam kein lahalacha. The daibatos revius levad bezeh, it would be enough to pour in once. Ayin sham ki katzarti. Okay, Rabbi Sai, thank you so much. Now we are basically on schedule. So Wednesday Isru Chag, we will do Ayin Ches, and then Thursday, Friday, we will do the Hakdama from the Pri Megadim for Siman Ayin Tes of the Dine Soya. The same way we had a Hakdama Aruka regarding Riyas Erva, Liboy Roya, so Erva, Roya Erva, Giloy Erva. We have a similar Hakdama when it comes to Hilchos Soya that the Mishna Berura is matik from the Pri Megadim. Okay, so thank you very much. So no share tomorrow or Sunday, and we reconvene on Wednesday. Okay? Hatzlach, everyone. Kol tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.